Foraging for wild mushrooms, it's like a real-life treasure hunt, right? It's this amazing way to get out in nature and find some incredible free food. But, and this is a big but, it is a high-stakes game. Because hidden right alongside those delicious edibles are some straight-up killers. And making one wrong move could be your last. So let's get into what you absolutely have to know to stay safe out there. And yeah, we're gonna kick things off with that pretty stark warning. This was advice from a seasoned forager to a total newbie on Reddit. It's blunt for sure, but it's the honest truth. Because when it comes to hunting mushrooms, what you don't know can quite literally kill you. And that reality almost hit home for one new forager. And this story starts where a lot of these close calls do, with pure excitement. They found this whole cluster of mushrooms popping up right in their own backyard. So this user, Easy Objective 32744, gets super excited thinking they've hit the jackpot. But something in the back of their mind told them to just double check. So they snapped a few photos, posted them online, and the community immediately sounded the alarm. That single moment of hesitation, that one simple act of asking for help, it almost certainly saved their life. And this really gets to the heart of the problem with foraging. See, for a lot of the best, most delicious edible mushrooms, nature has cooked up a poisonous twin, a deceptive lookalike that is just waiting to fool you. Let's start with a total classic. Over on the left, you've got the true morel, which is one of the most beloved mushrooms on the planet. And on the right, its evil twin, the false morel. I mean, look at them. At a quick glance, they've got that same kind of wrinkly, brain-like look. But one is an expensive delicacy, and the other one, well, it's packed with a toxin that messes with your central nervous system. But here's the absolute game changer, the one thing you have to check. It's what's on the inside. A true morel has all these pits and ridges on its cap. And when you slice it right down the middle, the whole thing, stem and cap, is totally hollow. A false morel, though, has that wavy cap, and its stem is filled with this weird cottony stuff. That hollow inside is the key. You have to slice it open to be sure. No exceptions. Okay, here's another tricky pair. On the left, the gorgeous, edible chanterelle. But it has a toxic mimic you see on the right, the jack-o'-lantern mushroom. Now, this one probably won't kill you, but eating it will cause some of the worst gastrointestinal misery of your life. Trust me, you are going to have a really, really bad time. So the secret here is all in the gills. A chanterelle doesn't really have true gills. It has these false gills, or folds, that look kind of like melty, waxy wrinkles running down the stem. A jack-o'-lantern has real, sharp, blade-like gills that just stop cold right where they hit the stem. And get this, as a little bonus, they're bioluminescent. They actually glow a faint green in the dark. How cool is that? But some of the absolute worst mistakes happen way earlier, when a mushroom is basically just a baby, before it's even fully formed. And this is where things get truly life and death. Okay, look closely. On the left, a young, edible giant puffball. When you slice it open, the inside should be pure, solid white, like a marshmallow. No patterns, no shapes. But on the right, that's the infant egg of a deadly amanita. And if you slice that open, you can actually see the faint outline of a tiny mushroom getting ready to grow. And this right here is why the #1 rule with puffballs is you slice every single one in half, every time. No excuses. So how do people make these fatal mistakes? Well, it turns out the vast majority of mushroom-related deaths around the world, they're caused by just one infamous group of fungi, the amanitas. So, meet the destroying angel. It's pure white, it's elegant, it looks completely harmless, and that's exactly what makes it such a killer. It doesn't scream danger, so tons of beginners mistake it for a simple, edible field mushroom. The single most important telltale sign of a deadly amanita is this thing right here, the vulva. It's this little cup or sac at the very bottom of the stalk, and it's what's left over from that egg stage we just saw. But here's the trap. The vulva is almost always buried just under the soil, so if you just snap the mushroom off at the base, you'll never even see it. You have to dig up the entire thing. This brings us to some really dangerous myths. Let's just bust these right now. All white mushrooms are safe. Absolutely not. We just met the destroying angel. If an animal eats it, it's safe for me. Nope. Rabbits can eat destroying angels and be totally fine. You can't. And maybe the most dangerous one. Cooking or drying will make it safe. No, no, no. The amatoxins in these deadly mushrooms are rock solid. Heat doesn't touch them. And that brings us to the toxin itself, amatoxin. It's what you find in destroying angels and their cousins, the death caps. It's a cytotoxin, which is just a fancy way of saying it kills your cells. And the way it works is it's uniquely cruel. This is the 4-act tragedy of amatoxin poisoning. For the first 6 to 24 hours after you eat it, you feel totally fine. You have no idea what's happening inside your body, as the poison just silently goes to work shredding your liver cells. Then, phase 2 hits you like a truck. Violent, awful gastrointestinal symptoms. But here's the cruelest part of all. Phase 3, the false recovery. The symptoms stop. You actually start to feel better. You think, woo, guess it was just bad food poisoning. But all the while, your liver is failing. By the time the final phase kicks in with total organ failure, it's often too late unless you can get a liver transplant, like right now. So after hearing all that, you're probably thinking, how does anyone forage safely? Well, it all comes down to a specific mindset, a rule that separates the rookies from the lifelong foragers. It's the forager's golden rule. The first and most important principle is absolute, total certainty. There is no such thing as, I think this is okay, or, it looks pretty close. If you have any doubt at all, even one tiny sliver of doubt, then it's not food. 99% sure is 100% wrong.
And that leads us to the ultimate mantra, the one phrase every single forager lives by. It's simple, it's absolute, and it will keep you alive. When in doubt, throw it out. No mushroom, I don't care how delicious it looks, is worth your life.
So the next time you see a mushroom popping up in your lawn or out on a trail, by all means, be curious. Take a picture, look it up, try to figure out what it is. But before you ever think about eating it, just remember these stories. Remember what's at stake. Your life could literally depend on it. So what's growing in your backyard?